So I'd like to welcome you both. And we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions. And the first question is a general one about what are New Year's resolutions? Why do we have them at this time? Maybe the history where they came from. What do you know about this?
Well, I think New
Wait
Year's.
for the second, because my Andreas, the first, if you're okay.
I think New Year's resolutions aren't very different to normal resolutions we take during the year, but it's an occasion that there's this change of the year, and it's like a milestone where we can look back and look forward. So it's a defined period of time we can overlook, and that makes it easier to track them and to track what I have achieved and to look into the future, what I would like to achieve. But in general, I think it's not very different from resolutions we make during the year.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for opening. We're going to build on what you've said there. But yes, general impressions. Do you agree, Natalia?
I think that kind of resolutions and kind of should be not like spontaneous decisions that I could make sometimes, and it's kind of like personal goals or just for improvement, self improvement, and something else. Myself, maybe just really, I'm so strange and compare with others. To be honest, I don't have any resolution. So just it was really spontaneously. Last year, November, I got in my job. So it was really spontaneous situation, and so just really, I didn't really ask or insist. It was really kind of a surprise for me. That was spontaneous in finance, in money, and just got. It was really nice, but I work hard, and I didn't work harder, which didn't show that I better. So, like I did, but for this year.
What happened? Sorry, did you get a bonus?
I had promoted
Congratulations.
a job. So just
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Good.
I didn't do additional force. I didn't really.
You must have been doing something right.
Additional force. It was like yes, I did it all. I worked good as I used to love my work, and I didn't just. It was think like that. It was honest. As I used. I mean, I work hard. No, I didn't know that spontaneous circumstances that happened to me. Just they choose my position, just add me some tasks, but they these tasks were a national increase in my salary because my tasks.
That's always nice.
So, yeah, it's kind of a volume of the wages. It was it just happened without any also just about my.
Okay.
Just happened. For me, it's really, I don't have any do yoga every day. So I just I do just I go running, not every evening, but anyway, I don't smoke, I don't drink, and so I don't know about kind of resolutions. If I have time or mood, I can buy a ticket and go to St. Petersburg to my son, just because I have special mood. I can do it,
Right.
just I can do it without kind of
Are you saying you don't believe in New Year's
fight.
resolutions?
I don't have, maybe just I'm so strange, and so I don't know what kind of goals
It's
or
all right.
resolutions
It's all right.
be.
But I know you shared it. You shared
Just
an
you could
interesting
share with me.
article with us. You shared an interesting article which talked a lot about New Year's resolutions, and it mentioned some things such as perhaps a fresh start, marking as Andreas mentioned, it's the beginning of a year. It's a logical time. It's in some ways if it gives us a fresh start, we feel that feeling that we can achieve something in this new year which has just started. Um, so okay, no problem. Have you ever done New Year's resolutions? Are they a big thing in Russia? Is it a national thing or is it a personal
Of course,
thing?
it's really popular. Just what I see every time in posts on social media, you just like kind of results of last year and just kind of new resolutions, what I want to achieve. Just I can tell you that talking about myself, just don't have any specific resolutions for myself, because
Okay.
I'm satisfied with my life. I do what I want.
Yes.
I have a
That's
wonderful
fine.
job.
I
So
was going to come back to that, our own resolutions, but I wanted to start in a more general sense of what are New Year's resolutions? Why do other people make them? From your point of view, I know
I
you
just
shared
do it
this article, which was
because
interesting.
they
We talked
understand
about
they
there's a
have.
time that, as sorry to interrupt, but sometimes it may be to do with at the end of the year during the holidays. A lot of us like to indulge, perhaps to overindulge, to eat and drink too much in some cases, and it might be a new year, might be a time to purify ourselves, as the article said. I know I used to work for a fitness club, and the beginning of the year was the busiest time of the year because everybody was full of this new enthusiasm to go and get fit and join the gym, and it was a busy time for signing people up.
I think that the most important thing is that we have propaganda just to be successful. Successful, it means money. Just in order to make more money, you have to work harder. So just look at these. Just you have to be. We have kind of like stereo models, ideal pitch. Look at them. They do this and that. You have to be like this one. So maybe just it's kind of thing like beauty is a big industry. It's kind of how you can influence and affect to people to start a new year with new sport activities, so great fitness centers, or just like why just start. So just people try to earn money. They know that a lot of people are unsatisfied with their life because they are unhappy. They want to earn more, want to spend more money. They want luxury, big house. They want more and more. And so the weak points of people and how to press these points and to show that you have to do something, resolutions. It's my point of view. I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
just
Okay. Thank you,
I
Natalia.
think
I want to bring in Andreas.
I think this might be one reason, but another reason might be that we are this time of the year is suitable to make a break and to think about does my life look like? What has my life look like at the moment? And I also know it from my job. I'm totally snowed under during the year, and then there are a few days to make a break and to think about, am I content? Am I satisfied, or should I change something? So from this perspective, it's reasonable to do it at the beginning of the year. This might be another reason.
Good. Is it something you do regularly, may I ask?
It comes to my mind regularly, but I don't do it in this consequent way you described in the article, or is described in the article, to track and to do all these points you listed up.
Right. Yes.
But to think about, am I content with the way it goes at the moment? I do it regularly.
Yes, perhaps it's partly it's a time where we can review the year. How did the last year go? And we can then look forward and project into the next year. What would we like to happen in our own lives? What would we like to see more of? What would we like to see less of?
Yes,
That's
and where to put the spot in the next month.
When you say the spot, do you mean the focus?
Yes, the focus.
The spotlight, perhaps. Yes. Okay. Let me go back a bit before then, or sorry, perhaps do you have anything to add? Anything else to add at this point?
One other reason might also be the media, because they are looking for topics during the dry period, or the period where not so many news happen in the world, and this is every year's topic. You can put it out of the drawer and brush it up a little bit, and then you have an article to publish. And it says what New Year's resolution do you have, and how could we keep track? So
Yes,
Just
good point.
it's really interesting observation, because a lot of people they know how I live, just my lifestyle, and they tell me that because you're just now without kid, because son is an adult, and so on, have more time. So just best the most important thing can just prioritize just to do sports because they don't have time. But I think there is not the point. I did sports when my son was a baby. I found this time. I found 20 minutes or 30 minutes. I could find this time during the day. I even could the time know that I love reading, and I could also 1 hour a day. So I could read in the metro, in public transport, and whatever, just at home. I could find this time because I want it. I think that's the most important thing, as you mentioned in your video, just because people should want it, not just like because social media say it's good, other people say there is life, and just do it because you want. Because if you really just find this time, and you will be excited, just because you would be thankful could find this time, because I think that most important thing also, people spend a lot of time on their phone, just doom scrolling 2 or 3 hours. Just if you just check the report, screening report,
Yes.
and there's 3 hours. So people,
She mentioned
30
that in the
minutes.
article you shared. She said that was her failed resolution from
Yeah.
last year,
Yes.
didn't she?
Just I think that you could find the time, just reduce your screening time, and so it will be okay, and you will see how much time you would have for a new activity.
Well, let me ask you then, hypothetically, imagine that was your intent, that was your goal to reduce your screen time for 2022. How would you go about doing that? How could you, because it's easier said than done, and perhaps if it's not something that uh, you do anyway, then it's easy for you to avoid because you don't do it. But if it's something that you do, you have this ingrained habit, it can be much harder to change. So what would you suggest? What steps do you think can help people?
Substitute, find a
So,
substitution for you that you like. For example, just I like some videos of a wonderful photographer, Dionis. He's very famous of his shooting couples, and I like how he do it with the faces and how to. So I started to watch his videos. Yes, I can watch 2 or 3 videos, one after, and I can show, because he's a photographer, and my friend, he unfortunately he can't. I just could use this information, this important information, and just show and share this information with him. And so first of all, just I spend time efficiently, because it's English photographer, it's English
right.
version to what to
I
do,
was going to
and
ask
also
you where you found this photographer.
just it
Did you
was
find
like
him on social media?
yesterday, or maybe just that was offered by YouTube.
Right.
And so I
Okay.
started to, I found out he's very professional. He's a brilliant photographer. If you are interested in talented photographer of people, of faces, and just it's his features and life
Yeah,
hacks, I
sure.
think are wonderful. Studio with just with a lot of accessories. You have to know how to shoot people, how to pose them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. How about you, Andreas?
Yeah, I think the first step would be to become aware of how much screen time I have, how much time do I spend on the screen, to be able to reduce it, and to also get aware of my success.
Do
And
you know of any
then,
ways to do that?
well, screen time might be quite easy, because all the phones and digital devices offer tools to track. And they also offer tools to limit the time for special apps or applications. So this might be a quite comfortable way to track them. But if you take other activities or other things you'd like to reduce, I would take a sheet of paper and jot it down.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Awareness is very key. And sometimes we might think we are aware of something, but actually, whilst we're in the process, if we see the hard facts and figures, we are often surprised if we're confronted.
I think
We
that
might.
maybe just interrupt and just add. I think that the most important thing just to your brain. So yes, it's a new activity, no kind of a stress, but it will take 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's not so much. So you can start jogging and just 10 minutes. It's not too much. Just do it every day. Just then extend this time. Maybe just do it in the park, beautiful park, and you see wonderful views. So you try to say yourself that it's stressful. Just I think that it's about because of time, not just like just an hour. I need, or if just I go just start physical activities, so I need 1 hour. You don't need 1 hour. You need maybe sometimes 10 minutes. It's up to you. Start it. Do it every day, and you will see. Oh, it's a part of my life. I like, and so I think that's very important to connect, to agree with yourself. It's not too much. It's only 10 minutes, for example. It works, really.
Yes, right. So that's if you want to start or instill a new habit, a positive habit, like running or something, or doing exercise. Yes, I agree. I think consistency first. If you can get, even if you say it's a very short period, get into the
Yeah.
habit of doing something. If you promise yourself you'll do at least 5 minutes, usually you'll end up doing a bit more than that. But you can't talk yourself out of it before you even get started, or you're less likely to do so if it's something which is, so undemanding.
I wonder if
Yeah.
it's a difference if we want to introduce new things or if we want to reduce things. Because if we want to reduce things, probably to substitute is one very useful way.
Yeah.
But to introduce new things, it's the other point you mentioned, Natalia. We should start with small steps and to convince our brain that it's not too much. We have to
Yeah.
not so much effort we have to put on it.
Yes, good. So I want to ask now about, people often talk about realistic goals, and perhaps we've mentioned this before. We've talked about goal setting quite a lot. But how important is it, and how do you find the right level? If you set yourself a goal, it could be a fitness goal or a financial or any type of goal that has a kind of measurement on it. How much do how high do you set the bar?
I think it's financial. It's really difficult because when you want to increase financially, you have to invest in yourself. You have to reduce the time with your family because it's just to not to change anything and just to get just because I got a promotion because maybe just I deserve it. It was really surprised me, but work extra or just didn't show any kind of brilliant, just work it as I work. Maybe just I deserve it, and I'm really thankful for it. But I think it's get a promotion just to go, just be senior manager and go further. So just I have to study something else and have to spend more time. So I think that I would reduce it, and I'm not ready to do it. Maybe just I would like to cut my cost, just spend time on some exclusive things and not to go to Maldives. I would go to Russian cities just for traveling. I would prefer to find not so expensive. So that's my goals. But other people, yes, they set the goals financially. I could do it. Just what I see that you have to spend more time to study more to be promoted, to be deserved for this promotion, or maybe just change a job. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But in general, I think goals should be a bit challenging. Otherwise, there's no need to set a goal when it's a given that I will achieve it. So, and it can also be something like a tournament or like a personal game. If I set a goal that's a bit challenging, so it will spur me to put more effort in it if it's not that easy. But on the other hand, it should be achievable in a way, because otherwise, if I really take it serious, it will be frustrating in the end.
And burnout is really also so close. You just set this goal and you try to do it and achieve it, and you spend all of your time and you're burnout. So the really bad result, I think. Just kind of depression, and you have to find some time therapy. You have to take it to therapy to go out from this condition. Yeah. So how to find this balance? Yes, golden balance, golden. Yeah, just work in life.
Yes, I think that's definitely true. Perhaps that's where the tracking comes in, especially so that if you reach a point where perhaps you're not making any progress, if you're not careful, the feeling might overwhelm you and you might give up on something. Whereas if you're able to show progress has been made for a long period, but perhaps you've just hit a plateau, then you can look for reasons, or you can say, oh, it's just a part of a bigger pattern. Or perhaps there are some specific reasons that you have stopped making progress, or your goal, you're not getting closer towards your goal, but you can look at those rather than think, just give up now, I'm not getting anywhere. You can look at the bigger picture and keep that in mind. So I think that's where tracking, really comes into its own. Which brings me to the next point, which we talked about here, which was planning. It's quite funny because I don't know if you spotted, but when I released the short video, I said I would give you 6 points in the video about what can go wrong. And when I look back, I only had 5 points. And the one which was missing was the planning. So I think there's a lesson in there for me. But I did add, at least I gave you the written article in the correction. So I think we can learn from that. Sometimes, yes, good planning is essential, and we should plan as well as we can. But on the other hand, imperfect action is better than perfect inaction. So sometimes we just need to get going, to start something and build momentum and learn as we go along. That can also be a balancing act. Yeah, maybe it depends what you're doing. But
Yes, I think it's easier without a big master plan in which I set all the goals for the following year. It's the same as you can consider it like a project, a big project, and it has turned out that it's more successful in the end to go in small steps and to learn from, just get active, take action, and look at the results and then learn from these results and take the next step. And I think this applies to these resolutions as well, to personal goals, instead of a real big plan, which is very likely to fail or to falter.
Yes. So perhaps we have plans in place that we can keep adding or taking away and tweaking our goals. It sounds like you have that already, that you have those, Natalia. Perhaps you don't frame them that way, but you have things that you do that you love to do. I don't know how
I
you look
just
at your running. Do you time yourself? Do you just go out and run until you feel tired? Or
I
do you
don't
have a
have a lot of
specific?
the long list of activities for every day. So just because if you work, so 8 hours, and so you have to spend, you commute 4 hours a day. So of course, I don't have a lot of time just to have for a lot of activities. So I know that what I would do in the evening, because we will communicate with my friend, and so after work I know what to do: go running or go walking or just go shooting, and that's something like that. So then just I have 7 hours for sleeping. So it's important. Then I wake up at 4:40 in the morning. So four, not five, it's earlier, 4:40, yes, because I do yoga every day for 30 minutes. I'm not crazy. I'm just really like it. Every day, just you feel fresh, you feel just, energized. It's really, it's workable. Yeah, I do it every day in the
So
morning.
when did you
So
start doing that? Was that a resolution you made?
it wasn't a resolution. It was, I started to do yoga in the morning. I mean, just in the morning, 10 years ago, maybe. Because that my ex-colleague, she wanted to be a yoga instructor, and she offered us to come to her yoga class before the work. So we started work at 8 o'clock, and of course I had to wake up earlier, and so just we had yoga every day before the work, 1 hour. So just we had to come 1 hour earlier to the office. So we just did yoga in the office, and then that was really good trade. And so I after that, just when I moved, I changed the work, and so I moved to another office. Anyway, just I had yoga. I have yoga every day in the morning because I used to do it in the morning. It's really cool,
So
but of
that's a
course I did.
really strong
Yeah,
habit. Yeah.
just really I enjoy it. It's not like I don't have any force, just I did it, I do it, and so it's my pleasure. I could watch or just I could listen some videos or just some interviews or just kind of news. So for me it's not a kind of process of meditation. Yeah, I could do two things, and I'm just
I
really
see.
happy. Yeah,
That's
because I
good.
like a lot of interviews about literature, about some other, to listen to other authors or just about new books, and so just some kind of reviews. I don't prefer to listen to news, some kind of catastrophe or something like that. So I would prefer to listen to some interviews about my hobbies or something like that. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, perhaps the next one then here, the article that I included talked a little bit about self-doubt. How can we overcome self-doubt? I think it's probably a human trait to some extent. At certain points in our life, we all have this self-doubt, depending on what it is we're doing. But how do we overcome that and, push on past and not let it be an obstacle which completely flattens us and stops us in our progress?
I think that self-doubt is really important. It's kind of like to improve ourselves. It's our critical thinking. So what is kind of just you have to change something and to move further. And of course that every time you have I don't know, a gap for improvement, just you have it. And it's the same, for example, English. Yes, we study English. It's impossible just to stop doing it, because you would lose your fluency, and you would lose your vocabulary and so on. So
It's
always
not
you have
impossible to stop doing it. Believe me,
yes,
it's not possible. Many people do stop doing it. But
yeah,
how do you
but
prevent yourself? Maybe you might feel at some point, I'm not making any progress.
just having a really better progress. I think that I have more time for English. Just maybe I don't know. Maybe just kind of other. Maybe I have to study more and more, spend more time for it. Maybe just I'm not ready for it now. Just I'm at the same level, but I wouldn't like to lose this level, because I know that just if I have, there was one big gap, just 1 month, and just I know I just feel it how you could really lose your fluency, and sometimes I forget these words, and so just your brain should work, and you have to speak. The first is active using, not just only listening or reading. So you have to speak. So that's why I know it, and just the same like sports. So you have to do exercises, and just in order to be in fit. So our organism is complicated, and
But I think here also the realistic goals come into play again, because they are connected to self-doubt. If I feel there's no progress because the goal's too ambitious, and I think self-doubts also can be paralyzing. If you're overwhelmed by them, they can lead you to give up. Also with languages, if you put so much time and effort in it and don't feel progress, it's quite natural to say, okay, then I spend my time in things I'm more talented in. Why should I waste time to get nothing out? And there's also the tracking you mentioned. If we look back and have any tool, not mustn't be a digital tool, or there's no need to take a digital tool, but any thing you can take to measure that there's some progress. And I think this is important to overcome these doubts.
And I think that I can measure. Sorry, Andreas. I just would like to add that how just to measure myself. Just it's intuition. It just intuitively feeling, just when I speak, and I can express whatever I want, and using any words. That's for me. It's kind of really good indicator that I'm in a good fit. So just in communication, of course. When you actively speak and your brain work faster and should work faster. So you just say, oh, I'm enjoyed. I'm excited that I could speak in English or in Russian, and it doesn't matter. So for me, it's like a good indicator. So, and in this case, I should only speak and speak more, and try to speak with my partners, like with my foreign partners, more and more. So especially it was really good opportunity for me to go on exhibitions, just to go abroad to China or to Europe. And so of course people spoke only in English, and it was really good. Because I sometimes when I was back, it was difficult for me to be back in Russian because always I had to speak only in English every time, 24 hours. That's really
Yes.
cool.
Wow. Okay. Well, then, what else is there about this? Yes, we had the self-doubt. Um, the last point of these is it says unclear. So if our goals are unclear, if our resolutions are not clear, then that may cause us to fall short. How can we improve our clarity around the goals? They
And
also
also
talk
just
about. Oh, yes, please.
yeah, sorry, I just want to add also about preparation, because sometimes people could say, I'm not ready for it. My friend,
Yes.
he could say just, I'm not ready to shoot portraits or just people. Just do it. Try to do it. It doesn't matter. Just, of course, you wouldn't be the same. Just you are not a professional now. But if you don't practice, you wouldn't achieve anything. You cannot be perfectly prepared
Yes.
to the interview. You have to do it. You have to go and you have to practice. Just try to do it. Okay, just accept yourself. Of course, we are not. I mean, I wanted this kind of edition because sometimes really people just waiting for kind of a perfection, but it's impossible to achieve without practice, without doing it, and make mistakes and failed and so on and go further. So
Yeah, definitely.
But there a certain extent of clarity is very useful, I think. Otherwise, you have these I should goals, where when you say I should do something for my health, it's very unclear, and um, actions always are clear. Actions are concrete. To go jogging or to eat less fat or something, anything. Actions are clear, and so I think you need a certain extent of clarity, at least, to know what you want to achieve or to what the contribution should be.
Yes. And I think we mentioned this with goals before about being specific. It's not always easy, but it makes it easier for us to take action steps, as you say, to act on that. Even if we
uh,
change that as we go along, it doesn't really matter. But the fact we say, okay, I, I want to practice, I want to improve my guitar, I'm going to practice for 30 minutes, 5 days a week or something.
I agree that is also important thing, because that sometimes I hear from people that they want to change their job. They are unsatisfied, and I ask, what kind of job, what kind of task, what would you like to do? Just nothing special, just only change my job. But you don't know what you want to do. That's a
Yeah,
strange. You don't know, and how this dream would come true, because you don't know
right.
what kind of dream you have. It's really strange.
Yeah,
So
it's very vague, isn't it? There was a
yeah,
quote from Tony Robbins, I think, who said it's difficult to hit a target if you don't know where it is.
yeah. Just what your goal? Yes, concrete. Just yeah. You have to. For example, when I was working in logistics, it was really complicated because every time you have to be in touch with your um, drivers or just so it's really nervous job. And I analyzed my job, and I wanted to change it, but to be in the first chain, logistic chain, just to send orders and to communicate with the factories, so just to be a buyer. I found out that I don't want to be responsible for logistics, for transport, because it's really, you always should be in touch. I would like to cut this part of chain. So now just I'm a buyer. So because I knew what I want. So it's not easy, yes. But when you know what you want, you have to know how to do it, how to achieve it.
Yes, good. You really make that decision.
Yeah. How's your son?
Someone wanted to join the discussion. Oh, dear. So, okay. Is there anything you wanted to add at this point? Because I'm
No,
going to say, oh, yes, please.
No, I just wanted to say, in terms of changing the job, you should at least know why you are dissatisfied and what is annoying for you, and this should go beyond this feeling. I just should change my job.
Yes.
maybe you should change yourself. Yes. Your attitude, yourself. Maybe it's better in order not to change your job.
Right, yeah, and that comes back to another part of clarity, which is not just being clear on the goal, but being clear on the reason behind the goal, your why that we've talked about, the motivation that you have. And then this, like you say, if it's your job, why are you unsatisfied? And if you get clear on that, then you can know, okay, is it something that I can change within my job? Or if not, what do I need to do to really, where can I look in order to change that?
Yes.
So can I end today then on asking, and Natalia, you've said perhaps you don't have them, but any resolutions or goals or challenges that you have for yourself this year? Anything that you can
I
share
think
with us?
if I find something else for myself, I mean, new activity, it will be spontaneous and effective. Just I have to know that it's really I need it. And now just I don't have any additional activities that I would like to share, that I set these goals and to achieve, because I know that I have to substitute or just have to reduce. But now I'm not ready. That's why I told you that I don't have any specific goals, any resolutions for this year.
But you have a promotion, as you mentioned.
Yes,
Does that
because
involve any extra responsibilities?
it's about new kind of tasks. So I have new tasks, new products. So just I think it will be more interesting because that's kind of new way. But of course, I'm still a buyer, and so just that was really nice challenge for me. So that's. Yes, I'm ready to study new products. I'm ready to study something else. You know that I'm an active person, so just. But any specific goals, no.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Andreas?
I have something where I want to put the spotlight on, and I have no master plan, and it's not that specific, but I want to find a better balance for the working from home and working in the office. And yeah, we have to see how the COVID situation will evolve, and if I can give up working from home completely, or at least I want to find a better balance to see or to meet colleagues on a regular basis, even if we have to work from home, and
Right.
to find ways to get in a more direct touch to them beyond virtual meetings, and to also combine it with a physical compensation for working from home. There are a lot of factors that have to be considered, but this is where it's not connected to the new year. It's not really a New Year's resolution, but something I would like to improve in the next month.
Okay, great. Well, good luck with that. I think I'm the same as both of you, and I don't really have specific New Year's resolutions, but I'm continuing to evolve and adapt my goals, and I do want to expand and to help more people, to provide better quality for you guys and for all my students. And also I'm moving home physically, so that's going to be a new challenge, a new adventure. So I hope to really to make the most of that. And yeah, again, depending on the COVID situation, to do some traveling and to get back and see my family back in Europe. So I wish you the very best. Thank you both for joining me.
Thank you,
It's been a
David.
pleasure.
Thank you as well.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye.
Cheers, guys. Take care.
See you.
See you all.
See you.